was an absolutely historic day for America, the country. This country's 55th presidential inaugural, the 16th time a president has been sworn in for the second time. Our team coverage starts with senior political correspondent Rob Corddry standing, as you can plainly see, directly in front of the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. Rob, what a night. Tell us, what was it like to be in Washington on this historic day?
John, on this frosty, windswept day in our nation's capital, the overall feeling was one of pride. Pride that we have a system of government that allows for such a peaceful non-transfer of power. Yes, John, here on a day when the weather would make a witch's teat seem like mittens and a well-digger's ass feel like a warm Christmas hearth, we welcome a Bush second term, an opportunity for not just more of the same, but all of the same.
Well, Rob, you keep making reference to the weather.
Ah, indeed I did, John. It was cold.
I'm obliged to ask you, how cold was it, Rob?
I'm glad you asked, John. It was so cold, the Tidy Bow man was wearing ice skates.
All right, Rob, in terms of...
It was so cold, I saw Senator Ted Kennedy and Representative Tom DeLay hugging each other for warmth. You can use that one, John. You're welcome.
Rob, I actually probably do believe there's a legitimate interest in the temperature down there, so...
35, John, with a wind chill felt like 24. By the way, John, I'm not suggesting that Dennis Hastert is fat, but I am somewhat concerned about his weight, actually.
Thank you very much for that report. Rob Corddry, everybody. Now, let's head over next to Samantha Bee. Samantha is at one of the many parties taking place in our nation's capital this evening. She is at the Commander-in-Chief Ball. Sam, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, John. Things are really swinging here. The Commander-in-Chief Ball is one of the hottest tickets in town, and everybody's just having an amazing time.
Sam, I'm sorry, it's difficult to pick you up, but I understand that the Pentagon has arranged for 2,000 tickets for that particular ball to be provided for free to soldiers that will soon be shipping out to Iraq.
Great. That's just great. Nice work, Stewart.
What?
They didn't know, John. Listen, sorry, guys. Pay no attention. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Now you try getting them into the complimentary C-130 shuttles.
I'm sorry, Sam. I had assumed that they knew that they were going off to war.
No. It's all right. It's all right. I'm a veteran journalist. I've been to a lot of these events. I can get this thing going again. All right, who's gonna hose me down? Woo!
The partying will be going on all night in Washington. They are going to party till dawn. We want to go back out to one of those parties, and our senior White House correspondent, Stephen Colbert, standing outside the famed Constitution Ball. Stephen, thanks for joining us. Stephen, I have to... Nice to see you, Stephen. Let me ask you. I don't mean to be rude. Is that a tuxedo T-shirt that you're wearing?
That's right, John. It may be a step down from a tuxedo, but it's several steps up from a regular T-shirt.
Stephen, it seems to me that the Bush people really like to throw these Washington parties in sort of their own kind of down-home casual style.
Not exactly, John. That's more of a first inauguration, not sure we were legitimately elected, let's play the outsider card kind of thing. This time around, it's not so much an inauguration as the establishment of a dynasty. No, empire. So this time, instead of barbecue, platters of suckling pig with apples in their mouths are being crammed down the gullets of cigar-smoking plutocrats by indentured welfare mothers, whilst teams of virgins are orally servicing undersecretaries of commerce. And rather than country and western, The music comes courtesy of a choir of the uninsured, whose vocal cords have been severed, leaving each singer with the ability to produce but one pure pitch that is then tortured out of them, creating an orchestra of unimaginable agony.
Stephen, despite your vivid description, I have to tell you, I've got a hard time believing that that's actually going on inside that seemingly nondescript Washington hotel you're standing in front of.
Thought you might say that, John, which is why I snuck in a video camera and shot this footage. By the way, John, you heard there, that was Let the Eagle Soar. Of course, Eagle Soar is a sex club code word for a forced femdom reach-around daisy chain with 4 on the floor. But, and this is important, no butt stuff. That'd be queer.
Jason, Obama's speech today.
John, the speech was incredible. Typical Obama, inspiring rhetoric.
This is the source of our confidence, the knowledge that God calls on us to shape an uncertain destiny.
Mixed with square-jawed determination.
For those who seek to advance their aims by inducing terror and slaughtering innocents, you cannot outlast us, and we will defeat you.
Mm-hmm. It's what this country desperately needs at this time.
You know, I have to say, Jason, though, our nation's relationship to the Almighty, a message for our enemies, isn't that Bush?
Ooh, what? I'm not following here. No. This president had a new message for a new day.
We will not apologize for our way of life, nor will we waver in its defense.
There you go. Pride of country, straight from the tap. All right? A real self-esteem booster.
But if I may, we will not apologize for our way of life, nor will we waver in its defense.
Whoa. Hey, John, the cowboy days are over, okay? God, when I even hear that, it just makes me want to take off my shoe and just jam it down your...
Right, but those aren't Bush's words. That was me reading the Obama quote you just played for me. I just did it in Bush's voice. It's the same rhetoric.
You're the same rhetoric.
But watch this.
Freedom is the universal gift of Almighty God.
The God-given promise that all are equal, all are free.
We will work with our friends and allies across the world to defend our way of life.
We will not apologize for our way of life, nor will we waver in its defense.
We can usher in a new era of enhanced prosperity and peace.
America must play its role in ushering in a new era of peace.
Did our generation advance the cause of freedom?
We carried forth that great gift of freedom and delivered it safely to future generations.
Why are you doing this?
I don't know. What am I supposed to do? It's all I know.
It's Hope Day 1.
I know. I don't like it either.
I know.
I don't like doing this either.
Look, it's like, why is cheese delicious on Italian food, but when you melt it on Chinese food, it's disgusting? I don't know. I guess, honestly, John, I guess when Obama says this stuff, I don't think he really means it. And that gives me hope. Can I go back to the party now?
Yes, you can. Thank you. Jason Jones from the Washington Mall. We, of course, have full team coverage of today's historic events. We're going to start with analysis from Jessica Williams down at the Capitol. Jessica, what did you think of the speech?
Hello, John.
How was it? What did you think?
OMG, John, I loved it, okay? It was fresh. It was new. It was unexpected, yet very classy. You know, I thought the speech really helped frame the president's agenda, and an interesting, and I think sexy's probably not the right word,
yeah,
but I'm going to say it anyway,
Jessica,
in a
I'm assuming,
sexy way.
I get it. I'm assuming you're referring to your new bangs.
John, I'm not.
What?
What? Oh, you mean my bangs?
Yes.
John, I just...
It's a great new look, Jessica. It's clear the First Lady has inspired.
No, John, the First Lady. I've been sporting this for ages.
Okay, all right. That's terrific. We're going to go out to Al Madrigal. Al Madrigal's at the White House. He is going to help us with... Al Madrigal.
John, with many of Obama's closest advisors set to leave...
Al, I'm sorry. I'm just going to interrupt you here.
Yes, John.
I think we're all slightly distracted by your...
by my Bubba Banks?
Yes. Your bangs.
Well, you don't like them?
No, I just...
Be honest. I mean, if you're not honest, we have nothing.
All right, Al, honestly, it's not my favorite look for you.
So now I'm fat.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't... Let's go out to Jason Jones. Jason is covering things from the conservative side on the... Jason?
Thank you, John. The clear loser today, American values. I think that the America that I grew up...
Jason, you're Canadian.
Let me finish. That I grew up above. That America is gone. I don't care for this new banged America. Men can marry men. Single women can get health insurance on pre-existing conditions. What's next? Polygamy and dreadlocks? Come on, where does it end?
So you're representing that viewpoint with Rue McClanahan's look? What?
This is Nancy Reagan. How could you not have known that? McClanahan wore floral prints.
Okay, I have to break in here.
Yes, Al Madrigal.
Yeah. This is just a straight-up attack on a beautiful woman and one of my very dear friends, Michelle Obama. And you know what? I will not stand for it.
Hey, Madrigal, campaign emails isn't friendship, pal.
Shut up, Nancy. All right. It's not just campaign emails. We talk all the time on the phone, Facebook. We've been close for 3 years after meeting on Twitter.
Oh, my God.
Al, have you actually met the First Lady in person?
Not in person, but we were supposed to meet, and she's so busy.
Al, I think you've been had by Hawaiian Uber prankster Renaya Tuiasosopo.
What? Yeah. No.
I'm so sorry, Al. That's just...
I got Tuiasosopo? No!
Yes.
Wow, somebody looks like an idiot.
No, honey, I know you're scared about Donald Trump being president, and you're probably worried about a whole lot of things. But I just want you to know that everything is gonna be okay. All right? Okay. Mwah. I love you. Good night. Oh. And to be clear, Mommy is going to be fine, all right? I know that I'm a woman living in Trump's America, but I'm strong, all right? I don't want you to worry about me. Good night. Okay, don't worry. I mean, then there's the whole thing about the Supreme Court. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you, buddy. It's not looking good. He's probably gonna replace Ruth Bader Ginsburg with Kellyanne Conway. Why? I don't know. There are no rules anymore, so... But we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine, you and me. We're gonna be okay, right? 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 Yeah, okay. All right, I love you. Mwah. All right, I love you. Mwah. All right, we're good. And then there's nuclear war? You just do something stupid. We don't know.
It's okay, Mommy. Mommy, what's a golden shower?